Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, and of course, I'm your host for tonight. And we have a fabulous guest. We do a lot of the entertainment and movie industry and all that sort of wonderful stuff out there that we've been laying dormant for a couple of years on, but now we're all anxious to get back into it. And my guest tonight is Emily Elder. I don't know her, never met her before, but she looks absolutely fabulous. She looks lovely, and she looks like she's ready to take it on. How are you, Emily?
I am ready to take it on. Very well, thank you, Nina, for having me tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, you look like you're all ready to go. And how old are you?
Oh, I'm 28.
28. Oh, just your prime time. How long have you been doing acting?
I've been involved in the industry for over 15 years now. I started off doing modeling and commercial acting and worked my way up into theatrics.
Fabulous. Did you ever do any child acting as of, a series or anything like that? Did you ever get into any of that?
No, not where I was raised. It wasn't accessible.
where we sounds like you were raised in the underground. Where were you raised?
No, not so much, but I was raised on the East Coast in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And they don't have shows up there, or they didn't have shows up there? I thought it was quite
Oh, well, they do now. It's the film industry is growing in Pittsburgh, but as a kid, I did some commercial work and some runway modeling for different shops in that area, but not any shows. Not until I was older and moved out to LA.
Yeah, you kind of got the bug, didn't you?
That's right.
The bug set in quite young, right?
It did, yes. I felt the bug hit me, and I graduated high school a year early, doubled up on all my classes to get out in the industry and start working.
Really? So you really knew it, and you knew you had to pass all your exams, which is, I guess, high school, right?
That's right.
So you haven't been to college, or you didn't go to college?
Well, then funny how life happens and plans change. I ended up going to university. I got a degree in communication and rhetoric in Pittsburgh at the University of Pittsburgh. I lived in Australia for a couple of years, and then I ended up moving out to LA.
Oh, how wonderful. What was Australia like? I think it's in a bit of a difficulty at the moment, isn't it? They've been shutting everything down and closing everything, and no one can do anything there.
Unfortunately, yes. Right now, it's sort of devastating for me to believe, because people in Australia, the culture is so down to earth, and they've got this free spirit about them. So to be locked down is hard, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was surprised that actually happened in Australia, because Australia is part of, it's British, it's like British people went there and they're still there, and they sort of, enhanced it, our second country. And
right.
And then they locked it all up and everything else. So you had the tenacity and the courage to move to Los Angeles.
Yes, I did.
I mean, that's I lived in Los Angeles for many, many years, and it's a tough town for an actress. How's it playing with you?
Oh, well, I am currently taking a hiatus because it's so crazy right now with the state of the world, of course. But I've been back and forth this past year, and it's treating me well. I am in an interesting part of my life where I was out there for going on 3 years, really building up my life and my career. I moved out there all alone, so it takes some time to meet people, especially ones that you can trust.
Absolutely, and to get in the circle, to get into where you need to get into is very, very oh, yep. I know how it is. It's tough.
Yes.
But you managed it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I feel real fortunate actually to fall into the hands of some good people and guides.
So you sound like you're not there now. Are you there now?
No, that you're correct. I'm not there right now. I am back in Pittsburgh.
Back in Pittsburgh. What is Pittsburgh offering you that Los Angeles couldn't?
Oh, just some free rent for the time being.
Cool. You must be living with mom and papa.
That's right. Yes. Proud to say it.
Yeah, why not? Well, it must be wonderful. They must love to have you there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're very happy to have me and happy to be here. It's, an interesting challenge, to say the least, but I'm still involved. And the good side of this whole pandemic is that I'm able to work remotely. So I'm still going out for auditions, and I have an agent in LA and here, so I'm working.
So you're still working. Do you travel back and forth to Los Angeles?
Yes, I do. I travel about every 3 months. I'll go back for a couple weeks.
And check it out and see what you're getting. What sort of parts have you sort of felt that you're comfortable with and you feel like, because we all kind of take on, ourselves, and then we try to figure out, well, what are we going to do with what we have now and what part can we play best? What have you
Right.
found in yourself?
I found in myself a lot of period pieces, some short films that I've got out for. So I know that that is one of my essential quality traits, if you will. That and the bohemian hippie role as well.
Oh yeah, I can see a little bit of the bohemian hippie with the hair and the whole thing that you've got going on there. Those look like
Yes,
natural curls. Are they natural curls?
that's right.
Well, you're lucky. I have natural straight, and I'm sort of trying to curl it, and you're probably trying to make it straight because
Oh
that's
yeah.
the way it goes. Have you ever ventured or ever come out to I'm in Las Vegas, obviously. Have you ever ventured or thought of coming out here for the movie industry?
I'm sorry, for Las Vegas.
For Las Vegas, yeah.
No, I haven't. Do you recommend it?
I do. I recommend it now. It's becoming quite big. There's a lot of movies they're making. It's still tough because it's certainly not the movie industry of the world, but they're very up and coming. They've got a lot of stuff. But the one thing about Vegas, which is pretty cool, and I know you can't do this in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, you can only have one agent. You can have one agent and one manager. In Vegas, you can have lots of agents. So you might want to check out some of the agents here and sort of, because it's just as easy to fly from Pittsburgh to Las Vegas as it is, to Los Angeles. And you might start finding, because it's becoming quite good here, because, it's funny, I'm surprised they haven't done filming as much before here. They've got every single set they need here.
Oh yeah.
All the hotels, you've got all different, you've got New York, you've got all the hotels.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I will look into this.
Yes. Now,
Thank you.
I understand you have taken on writing. You've
Mhm.
become an author. How's it going?
Yes.
Oh, that excites you. I like that. How's it going?
I think it's going well. Writing was the first sort of creative endeavor that I discovered in myself when I was a young girl. And I thought that when I kind of fell out of the industry when I went to university, I thought I'll pursue research and writing in the academy. But again, that was put to the side. And when I moved out to Hollywood, that's when I really started to dive deep in and realize that sharing my story creatively is something else I want to do. Not just my story, but collaborating. I have a wonderful partner that we wrote a few scripts together that are going through their editing phases. So I do love that as well.
Have you sold anything or got anything out there? Do you write series, or do you just write movies, or do you just write books?
No, I haven't sold anything yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I have 3 feature lengths and a mini series, as well as a novel that I would like to finish this year. With the novel, I thought it was going to be I wanted to write a script. I was just staring at the screen trying to write a script about this one tale, but I was writer's block. So then I just decided I'm going to write. I just have to write it, and it's turned into a very long novel. So that plan is to hopefully get it published and then do something with it on the screen.
Yeah, because they say that, once you write a book and you have a good story and you have something going on there, that can turn into a movie. So, which means you could write yourself into the book, but you could also be a producer, a director, or, anything like that. There's no stop once you go into writing a book. There's no stop, although you might be the author, but you could also be the director, and you can take on all these different roles if you want to. Have you ever thought about that?
Absolutely, yes. That is certainly on my radar, especially in Hollywood. There's a lack of content and need for content, but there's also so much competition. So little trick I picked up very quick along the way was it's time to produce your own work. If you want to work, make it happen with your own.
Yeah, remember one thing, there is no competition. You are the competition.
With yourself, you mean?
You are the competition with them.
Mm-hmm.
You write better than them. You have everything better than they do. You are the competition. Don't think you have competition out there. I'm just giving you some little words of thought so you
100%. It's all about the mentality.
Yes, it's all about how you want to get out there and what you want to do, and the majority of people seem to think they're very secondary. We I don't know why we all do it. We all put ourselves down. We never think we're good enough for something, and we're just as good as somebody else. We're just different. We're all different. None of us sort of really, I mean, you look at a family, brothers and sisters that should really be alike, and they're not alike at all, are they?
Right.
So you can always, when you go to write, Lynn, you talk about your miniseries. Miniseries, isn't that kind of Netflix and those sort of people that you can attach yourself into? Is that where you're going?
Yes.
How are you doing that?
So right now I don't have many connections. I'm not part of the Writers Guild or anything like that. However, what I'm focusing on is just producing the work, because I was stressing a lot about that networking side and getting in, meeting people. Where can I sell it? But I don't have anything to sell if I don't have it complete. So that's what I'm really, that's my idea of how to go about this.
That's your goal. So your goal is to have something. Well, yes, because you can write a synopsis. You can write a small version of what you want. You can do that. You don't have to write the whole thing, but I think you have to have the whole thing within your mind. I would imagine, I don't know, I've never written a series, but I think you can also write a very brief, it's like having, for a movie, it's like having a little short reel. Which is about 2 minutes long or 1.5 minutes. The shorter, the better they like, because when they look at these things, they can tell by the first kind of 2 seconds of looking at it, they can tell whether they like it or not. Isn't that funny?
It's true, yeah.
But you think about it, I put all this work into it, I've done all this stuff, and then they watch 2 minutes and they throw it out.
Yep.
Now, is there anything that we can do out there, or anything that you would like to put out there to promote yourself and get yourself out there? What can we do, and what can you do? Because this particular program, NinonSpeaks, goes worldwide. It goes everywhere. It goes all over. I have another show called Vegas Live with Ninon, and that's been going on for a long time. It goes on all those channels. So what can you put out there in this particular interview that would attract people to get hold of you? Number one, your website and how they can get hold of you, but what would you want? What do you want?
Yeah, so I think what I'm desiring right now in my life, and I'll give you my internet site and all that in a moment, but right now what I would love to find is a strong manager and an agent bi-coastal or in the Southeast. I'm looking at Atlanta, for example. I need some partners that believe in me and that are trustworthy to propel each other forward. Certainly being relocated out of LA is hard to meet people in the industry. So where I once was walking down the street, having conversation with producers, directors, this and that, that doesn't exist anymore while I'm living on the East Coast. So managers, agents, fellow producers, you can contact me at theemilyelder.com. www.theemilyelder.com. Also my Instagram at theemilyelder.
That's amazing. You were talking about walking down the streets of LA and meeting people in LA. What good did any of them do for you? I mean, it's all very well meeting them and seeing them, but what did they do? What good did they do for you? Did they do anything for you?
Certainly some did. I've met wonderful people that only walking down the street, starting conversation, did we connect, and I found a wonderful acting coach that way. Also, I befriended some wonderful producers that put me in touch with my current agent at Pacific Talent and Models in Los Angeles. There's also a lot of chit chat that could be a waste of time, but you get to meet people, and you have to if you want to propel forward at all. So I would say I wouldn't have changed it for a world. Also, there are a lot of bad people and mistakes that I made along the way, but you learn from those. And again, I wouldn't change anything because I am who I am now, and I'm pretty happy
yes,
with that
you
girl.
are. Now, you're a model. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
You're 5'8", perfect. So you really, truly, for modeling, I know they have modeling in Los Angeles, but most of the modeling is in New York.
Right.
So I think you ought to try to reach out New York. They're always looking for models, always. And I think you might want to start reaching out. And I think if you go to the internet and you put in their agents or managers or voiceovers or whatever particular thing you want, it'll all come up, and you just send do you have a reel, like a minute and a half reel? You have a reel? Do you have
it's on my website.
It's on your website. Yeah, but then you've got to still make a little effort.
Oh, no, of course. I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, I've got all the materials to send out.
Everything. Yes, you've got to put, the harder you work, it's always the luckier you become. I've found that out. And even when I was married, I had an incredible marriage, but I worked hard at it. It wasn't always, roses and tulips and all this lovely, thing, little hard things on the way. So I think you need to put a little bit more effort out there. I think, I truly, I know you've moved back to Pittsburgh, and I know it's easier for you financially, but you may have been better off staying in Los Angeles because you're right there, if you know what I mean. So now I know Pittsburgh and New York, they're not very far apart, are they?
No, they're close.
What is it, a couple of hour drive, a couple of hours flying time?
8 hours, but
I don't know, flying time, I think it's a couple of hours or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, the more effort the more you really want to do whatever you want to do, I think you need to put a little bit more effort into it, and don't listen to a lot of people that kind of, oh, well, you're getting too old, or you're getting this, or you're getting that, or you're not going to make, that's depressing. I think you need to sort of start, putting a lot more effort out there and meeting people.
Right.
Try to get yourself into the niche in Pittsburgh of the agencies and where they go to lunch and what they do. That's a big, they see you walk in, and I always say that be dressed and be ready to go on a runway.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're, I mean, I'm always dressed. I've always listened, Ninon, go casual. Well, my casual is most people's dress.
So is mine.
That's just how I am. So I think,
I like it. I love it.
Yes, I think to always be prepared, always look your best, always look when you walk into a room, people are going to turn around and say, oh, who's that? Oh, I'd like to know that person. Don't inhibit yourself or say, oh, I'm just going out to do grocery shopping. I don't care what you're going out for. You do not know who you're going to meet down the aisles. And I don't mean the wedding. I don't mean the wedding aisles. I mean the grocery store aisles. But you never know. It's it's a funny old world out there.
Yes, that's right. And I completely agree with you. You'd be a great coach.
I don't have the patience. That's my problem. I love to help people. That's one of the things I love to do. I love to help people. I love to help you. But I think to give you that advice, if you really want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
I think that might help you. So what sort of agent do you have in Los Angeles?
Theatrical.
Theatrical? What do you mean theatrical?
I'm sorry. So theatrical versus commercial representation. So the theatrical agent puts me out for films and TV.
Films and TV. Okay, that's theatrical. Because theatrical to me sounds like plays and things.
Right.
Plays. But so I hope you're with the right agent, because if they're not getting you any work, go and find another one. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to move.
Yeah. Don't
be afraid to you don't have an agent for your book, right? Your book series?
No, I do not.
Why?
I haven't gone down that route yet. guess I should.
Definitely, of course you should. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if people, until you get out there, unless you're out there, and nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
100%.
Yeah, it's not, so I think you need to put yourself out there a little bit. Get it going out there.
Yeah.
And go to lunch in different places where you know that the producers are going to be, and try to get yourself invited to some of the TV plays. I don't know what they have in Pittsburgh. Do they have much in Pittsburgh?
No, we got to move out of Pittsburgh, but we'll go to lunch.
Yeah. But also New York, go to New York for a few days and find a friend that lives there, and invite them to Pittsburgh, and invite you to New York, and start going around New York. What do you think?
I think this is a great plan.
Yeah, we're building up a plan for you. Get you out there and see what what's your most desire at the moment, at this very moment? What is your most desire to do?
The biggest desire is to finish my book and get that produced.
And that's a full-fledged book. How long would the movie be? 2 hours?
Well, I wanted that to be a mini series.
That to be a mini series. Oh, great. So that's a Netflix thing.
Yes.
What would you do if you did land it in Netflix?
What would I do?
If you landed it there, what would you do?
What would I do? I would just, I don't even know if I would just be very happy and fulfilled, and I would be like, yeah, I did it. I just did it. This is what I said I was going to do. Here we are. Let's do it some more.
So prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I asked you that question, because and you've got to push yourself. Everybody wonders why so many people, they make it and you don't make it. You've got to push yourself and try maybe a little harder of what you want to do. I love what is your mini series about?
It is a science fiction based thriller. It is about post-apocalyptic world where there are only a few people that are able to withstand the devastation of Earth, and they're all dispersed throughout the world. And the journey is of a girl, and she goes throughout the countryside and finds these light keepers, if you will, because they need their energy to help save the Earth from total destruction.
Well, it's very appropriate to the time we're in right now, especially, with this war in Ukraine. And, I look at this war and I'm thinking, what on earth are they all doing?
I know.
And why are they destroying? I mean, even, whoever keeps it, either Ukraine or Russia, one of the two is going to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you destroy it like that? You've got nothing. If you do win it and you do keep it, there's nothing left.
Yeah, I can't speak for it, obviously. I'm not there to witness it, but it's devastating, to say the least.
Yeah, well, we can only talk about what we see and what we have. As a young person, as a 28-year-old, how do you look at this?
The situation in Ukraine?
Yes.
Well, I do have a few dear friends that have family in Ukraine, and
Really?
my heart goes out to them, and I've been in touch with them both from the start, and just giving my sympathy, and they're most thankful for that. They wish that they could be there with their families, but of course their families are so happy they're here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest, and I think that from my perspective, here in this time, I'm afraid that it will grow worse.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a little bit worried about that. I think they're a little bit worried about Poland, because we've got an awful lot of the immigrants went to Poland.
Right.
So now, but once that starts, I don't know what will happen. I don't know, and I don't know if I want to know. But I'd love to help as much as I can, and I don't know how to do that. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way. But right. You, of the younger generation, I haven't lived my life completely. I'm not ready to go yet, but I'm pretty much up there. So I'm very fortunate. But I look at you when you're so young, you've got a whole life. And then you're writing about something that is very realistic and very much to people's minds at the moment.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's based on a true story that I've experienced through the beginning of the pandemic and my being uprooted from Los Angeles. I didn't really have a place to go. I was getting rid of my apartment at the time, and my dear friends, the only few I had, were afraid to let me into their own homes when the whole, country was shut down. So eventually I just picked up and kind of left. I traveled throughout the country and made my way back to my family in Pittsburgh throughout the course of the year. So I have a lot of insight, different experiences throughout different states and such. But now it's growing even crazier with all sorts of, situations, from war to violence to the pandemic. So the story is kind of writing itself, but it will be posed as fiction.
Yeah, I think you've taken on a very good story, and it sounds like it's a very true story as well. On that, I think we've come to an end of our, my producer is probably saying, Ninon, you've got to wrap up. Okay, I will. It's been such a pleasure, Emily Elder, talking to you, and a great inspiration from you for the younger generation. And that's what I love. That's why I asked you so many of those different questions, just find out how you feel about what's really going on in time right now. And you're even writing about it. So I think maybe put a few juicy things into your series to make it different. Don't be afraid. You can always come out. It doesn't have to be there, but at least it'll try to write some things in there that's going to attract someone.
I like it. Yes.
Put a little spark in there. Put in something that may be a little bit daredevilish. Doesn't matter. Go for it. That's what I would do. I want to thank you, Emily, for coming on our show. NinonSpeaks, amazing. I want to thank our audience out there for watching, because without you, nothing happens. And this is just a show that we started 1.5 years ago, and I absolutely love it. And we bring in different guests and find out what they're doing, how we can help them, because that's what we're all about. We're all about helping you, helping people out there, and whatever we can do, we will do. I'd like to thank Social Media Shows, because they are my producer, and of course, my dear Maria Pereza. She's probably laughing right there and saying, thank you, Nina, thank you, Nina. She's my producer, absolutely amazing. Again, Emily, thank you. Emily, one more time.
Thank you so much, and Maria as well.
Thank you so much. You take care, and I'm going to look out for your series.
I will let you know. I'll keep you posted.
On Netflix. We're going to aim it to Netflix.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on our next show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
He's dead. And I told his mom that I would take care of him. And guess what? He's dead too.
Don't you think it's time to take care of yourself? Do it for James. Do it for Mom.
A rumor has it ghosts still haunt the house, and at least 2 local girls became possessed by demons while staying overnight in the house. And my bro and I are gonna find out what's up. Staying overnight tonight. Woo!
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about, 2 girls? I didn't hear anything about 2 girls.
Oh, come on. It's just a rumor. I'm sure it's just BS.
All the way at the bottom, this strange transcription. Russian, I think. Communists. I don't know, dear, if I can get caught up with something dangerous again. It could hurt my job. It could hurt you, me. What do you think? Mr. Shoemaker.
You're fucking frightened of me, aren't you? You're afraid, aren't you? You gutless, heartless, spineless fucking son of a bitch. I hate you. You deserve everything you get.
Gone to the back country today to celebrate for you. Swinging on the hammock, our hammock. perched in between our trees. Both are dead, you know. Unlike our love that shall last forever, you say. I hope you're having such a lovely day. You're in my heart. I miss you. I love you. Happy birthday.